Hello. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I wanted like to show you another model that I did for like the keying and stuff like that, but yeah, for some reason the old computer just went like completely nuts. So I'd like to thank Rob Navarro to actually stand up in there like for to cover my failures with hot dogs and tacos and barbecue. Actually, no, you never mentioned hot dogs, but still, man, from Texas, I'm sure you it was all part of the plan. So, hello guys, nice to be with you again. Yeah, like last Monday, I can't remember what happened. Oh yeah, I think I was just like going into overtime and stuff like that, like on the at work. So yeah, pretty busy. So I kind of missed out the last stream. But hey, I'm here now, so hopefully we can enjoy this fun sculpting party. So, a little bit of news. Basically, my printer, like it's been like I got like a Anycubic Photon right now, and I've been like going back and forth with the Photon. Like, basically, what happened was just like I built all my model, sent into the printer, and for some reason, when I started the print, at 1%, like all the printer would reboot, and then everything would be kind of reset. So I was just like, oh, what the hell is going on? And it's like I've been like super careful with the old printer. It was like always like in a room at inside and warm. And yeah, for some reason it kind of stopped. So from there, like I think we went into like a month, or if it's not more, like back and forth with like the Chinese support to find out what's the issue. I kind of like disassemble like the old printer. I think like 5 times, rebuild it, try every kind of part, every kind of even with the community, we try like so many different schemes, and basically I think it what it came down to was actually the main board, which what happened at some point was just like my LCD. Usually it's supposed to be like a shifting mask and all, like the screen, and basically the old masking thing wasn't working out anymore, so it was like kind of stuck there. So yeah, they're sending me like a new main board, which I guess I'm gonna be receiving after Christmas and or stuff like that. So in the meantime, I'm just I'm still like piling up all the ready to print sculptures. So yeah, so this is it for that. Outside of that, it's like usual. I always like try to show you guys like one of a sculptor, which is like one of my really big inspiration and all that. So for today, the sculptor that I want to show you, which some of you might know, is Vimal Kerketa. I hope like I'm not like butchering his name or anything like that, but yeah, basically like this guy is like he's mainly like specializing for the facial and stuff like that, all hand sculpted, and even that stuff. For if I'm right, I think like he says that he like on purpose sculpted it just like if it was like a 3D scan, but it's actually like real, even like the old Benny and all of that stuff. So yeah, I think like this guy is just like he's one of the. I mean, there's like a lot of really amazing head sculptors. I think we're like seeing more and more like really, like crazy dudes. But I think like this one is just like that's one that it's like really really impressive. So just before I move like to the Instagram page, basically you can find him on the Vimal Kirketa and on his Instagram page as well, and the Facebook one. So and yeah, that's him. He got a lot of style. I cannot deny that. So that's him. So yeah, if you don't know him, now you do. So outside of that, I usually like I like to always like present like a art book or a tutorial or something like that, something that kind of helps me to improve or and for this time it's gonna be like kind of different. I kind of went like all out with the Black Friday thing, so I got like this. Wait, I'm just gonna grow up the small screen in the corner so you guys can see it clearly. Uh, there you go. That's my face. So if you look at it, it's actually Genji from the Overwatch, and it's yeah, it was like 99 bucks or something. And yeah, I mean like it's for me it's like first off it's cool to see like that scale because I never had like a sculpture with that size. So and I can like kind of R&D like the shit out of it. So yeah, that you know like a lot of interesting parts like you know just the fact that all they did like their keying and even like the you can see like I don't know if you can see it but yeah, probably not. I don't think the focus is like good enough, but you could like barely see at the tip. There's actually a magnet in there, so it's like another thing to be sure like everything sticks together. So so yeah, that's one of the really cool and amazing sculptures, and even like the whole right now like I ripped it off like from the base, but you could see like a you know how they made the you know like the keying and then the pin just for rigidity. So I'm pretty sure like the old pin goes like from all around the leg, and even like the way they painted it. That's one of the things like I usually when we talk about like 3D printing we don't like over elaborate like on how they painted the sculptures, but that's one of the things I like to check. It's actually the you could see like the base coat of the paint, which in this case was like kind of the black gray. I think that's the right there. They painted like pretty much all the model the same uniform color, and then they started like to kind of hand paint. You could even see like some bits, maybe not on camera, but you could see like some bit that are been like painted with a brush. We could see like brush strokes and stuff like that. So so yeah, it's definitely like something I love to get, and even like the way that they did their keys. That's one of the thing that you know I wanted to show you today was and that's the thing. You know, I might like try to load like the other model I wanted to show, but usually I try like to taper the keys. So it's like it's easier when they slide in the part. They it slide like a lot more easier rather than having a square one. And even like sometimes what I like to do is like the right now they only put squares, and it's like and they pre-assemble it and assemble the whole thing because you could see like some seams on the model, so you get like an idea on how they printed it. But like for shipping, and I guess like even like for the customers, they glued some of the part and then they just left like a few ones like the head or even like the swords or anything that would be like super fragile or easy to break was all like kind of a different the you know a separate part. But get back in there. So yeah, no, I just think like it's really cool to see, and even the weight. That's one of the thing. Like for my prints, usually I hold with them, and yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, usually I hold them. So I'm like kind of wondering if I'm gonna try out to do like a some kind of urethane with mixed with stone powder in it, just to give it weight. So it's you know I guess it feels better in the end, and it feels more valuable. So, okay, let's get back to my ZBrush screen. So much talking. Eh? I hope you guys, I didn't lose anyone with my beautiful voice. Um, so yeah, before I continue, like my character over here, I'm just gonna try to see if I can find. I don't know if you guys have actually ever seen that, like the. I made like a while ago, like some kind of merman, and yeah, that was like definitely like one of the things I wanted like to try out to print. But I think I'm gonna just give me a second. Right now I'm like it's like almost if I don't open up the right file with this computer, everything might crash. So brace yourselves. While it's loading, I hope everybody's doing all right. I don't see like a whole lot of comments in the chat, so I don't know if I should be worried or, you know, not that I don't like to talk to myself, but it's yeah. So don't be shy. Say hello. Come on. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's my dude. So oh yeah, that's actually that's one of the the example I wanted to show you. Like for, yeah, it's a little bit laggy, but actually you'll get, um, you know, when I do my sculpture, let's just say we finished it, all posed, and now like I'm doing the engineering kind of part. Um, you know, basically what I want to get to is actually like splitting my parts like that, because once my printer is like way too small. You know, like I there's no way for the size that I want to go for. And if I want to go like with the same size as this dude, like basically, you know, even this guy, you know, we saw like for shipping they split it the head and they split it parts, but even like for printed it before they shipped it, then they started like to split it just like I'm showing you. And wait, yeah. So what it tends to do is like I'm trying like to make cuts where it makes sense, and one of the things that I like on my model is like, well, I try the best as I can, but is that not have, come on, what are you doing? Okay, it's I have like parts that are like are hanging. I know like the end and the finger are always like, so for I might, you know, leave it like that because the main purpose is really size. So hopefully by the size of the thing it might work out fine. And but that's the thing, like I didn't get the chance to test it. So maybe with the scale I'll find out that the fingers are like way too thin, so I might cut them, and even like might be I might drill a small just to put like one of those metal rods that we saw like in the of the ninja. So how do I actually do my cuts like that? First off, what I did was actually, and right now it's not like optimal, like I'm still trying out those keys and I'm not convinced I'm going to continue with them, but still it will give you like an idea. And once I think I got something decent, I will definitely like share it with you guys. I mean, like I'm doing like that R&D, but I think it should be something that if it works well, then I think you guys should enjoy it as well. But yeah, basically what I tried to do, like I said, I've tried like to, first I got like the shape. One of the main reason why I got like, and I got like this one got like a narrow shape, but I got like other keys that got like different shapes. And the main reason is just like to not get confused with parts. It's like I know it's like not something that might be like happening often, but let's just say that you got like three pouches that you need to plug on a belt, but they all wear the same kind of square. Then it might be like harder to know which pouch goes where, even if you send out like a plan on the order. I mean, sometimes they could be like so close. So if you do like a specific key for it, and then a specific keyhole, then I mean the owner won't be confused on where it goes. So what I tried to do, I'll do like pretty much the same thing. I got my key like that, and then I got like this plane over here, which sometimes what I like to do is, yeah, I'm just gonna split this thing. Well, first I'm gonna duplicate it because I don't wanna ruin the scene and load it again. But so yeah, and I'm just gonna move it on the side just to be sure. So yeah. So what I'll do is like um first off, it's always easier if you don't have like any subdivisions to do that stuff. But yeah. So I'll hide this thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's many ways, but the more I think about it, wait, I'm gonna do this like differently, just to be. I'm just like trying to think about like the best optimal way to show you that. Um, Basically I got my key, like you can see I got my creases all around the geometry, so if I subdivide, my cube will still well, I don't know why the creases just went away, but what, wait, there's something wrong. um if I undo this. Yeah, for some reason it might be buggy, but that is so weird. Okay, just give me a second. I'll just be sure to resolve that. Like you can tell, I wasn't prepared for this, but either way, it doesn't really matter. Like when I create my key, I try like to go low res like that, so it's just like easier to manipulate any, or even like to insert it as a EMM. But yeah, I will hide it, and then would hide this, and then that, and then I'm only left with this part, which I'm gonna flip it, and now I only got this part, which is exactly what I want. So I'll delete hidden. So now I only got this left, and that's the thing. Like right now for keys, you saw like the add like thickness on the yellow plane. It really depends on the. It's really like that bit. Then I'm going to show you in a second. It's really this. It's like the, man, I forgot the name of it. Tolerance between two pieces. If this thing, basically, I guess like the best way is like to go as thin as possible because I'm eating away that kind of line. But if you go too thin, uh, you know, it might be like the fitting together might be like harder and stuff like that. So I try not to go super thin, but still thin enough that it doesn't eat up too much of my sculpting. So, and that's pretty much that piece. All of that you could predefine like the thickness of it, which I'm gonna do right now. I'll right now, the blue key, and I'm going with the panel loops, and and depending what you want to do, you can augment the thickness. See, now it's a little bit bigger. I can go like really, depending on the scale of the object always. So like a bigger, a smaller printable object will probably need like a bigger, thicker kind of cut, and the bigger the sculpting, then I guess you can go like thinner and thinner. Again, like I just want to, as a disclaimer, like I didn't test like all the sizes and stuff like that, so I think you should definitely like, if you got like a specific print size in mind, you should definitely like test that out maybe beforehand. But yeah, basically that's the idea. And what I like about that is like if I do like a panel loop, it will take that face and just like replicate the exact same thing but in the back, but like as negative, or like just a duplicate of that face. I don't know if that makes sense, but oh, wait, no, I'm just gonna show you what I mean. Like it's basically like this face is exactly the same face as the one in the back. So if I do a boolean, then the part that is like got on is on the yellow side will inherit like the exact same shape of the pink side. So I don't know if that makes sense like for you guys, but yeah, but that's the whole idea. So once you're there, I'm gonna go back to my merman. I'm gonna remove that. So okay, but now that I got like my cut line, how do I actually place it around? Like where do I cut? And that's where I think the magic of ZBrush happens. It's first off, you go into live booleans, and right now I'm gonna do this. Press the arrow. The only reason, oh, maybe I'll hide it, but yeah, and then you can go difference. So now it's not doing like a boolean, but it shows you only like a preview of what it will look like. Let's say, and once again, like I'm still playing around with that one, so it's it's just like to give you an idea, but it's, don't take it as set in stone. Every case are like quite different, so it might work with mine and not working out with yours, but it's definitely something you can experiment with. So I'm just like gonna try to increase the brush size. and like you've probably saw, I could still like change like the subdivision levels. So on and right now I'm controlling the insert keys. So I'm just gonna, so you can still see like move that line. So if you like, you can actually just push that line and then just place it exactly where you want it. So if there's like a crease like that and you just want it like to have like a perfect contour, but that's one of the thing, like by doing this, you're probably seeing the thickness of my line becomes uneven. So that's why I like to do what I just did before. You just like go in, delete your face, go back, delete your back face, then and then redo a panel loop. So you'll keep that perfect thickness all around, which is crucial because the pieces where I am, if the pieces are not exactly the same, like you know, like if this surface is not exactly the same one as the one on the arm that's supposed to be plugged in, then of course there will be a gap. It won't work properly. And yeah, and one of the things that I'm slowly like realizing at the same time that I'm like talking about keys is like the when they get like concave cavities like this, it's when I need like to sand them, it's like a lot harder because it's almost like a step that I need like to go. So like even with the sandpaper or something, it's harder. Like convex are kind of easier to sand off. So if the thing is a little bit rough, then it might be like easier to take care of it if it's only convex kind of keys. So small detail, but yeah, I mean if it can save you like a little bit of time, then try it out. But at the same time, it's not like if it's a huge deal, you like to work with those, because sometimes you run out like of convex shapes. So yeah, so I'm still like working on this guy. Right now, like the main plan, like I got like a scene more advanced than this, but it's like I'm cutting like the waist because I got like a pair of pants that goes over the waist. So basically, you want I'm kind of trying to hide away the seam. So like the pants, there I kind of dig like inside of the pants, so like the torso would kind of slide in, like and and yeah. Right now I couldn't really hide it because it's almost like kind of a naked body, but I still had like that big shell like on the shoulder where I could like kind of place in a seam. I even got like those tiny lines, over here. So yeah, but and yeah, I'm gonna do one like for the mask as well because the mask is like kind of super detailed, and for the I'm trying like to think about the paint as well. Since the mask is like kind of metallic or made out of gold, I think it will be a lot easier if I can just detach it, paint it by itself, and paint the rest of the head as well by itself. So okay, enough chat. I hope it was instructive. But yeah, for sure. Like as soon as I'm done with that merman, I'll be like the first one to spread it all over the social media and this stream, of course. But yeah, I hope like nobody got questions. I mean, I hope. I mean, I don't mind if you guys got any questions about that before I switch back to the talent. Then feel free to ask. If not, then I'll slowly move. Well, still my scenes my file's gonna be here, so if I need like to get back to explain something, I will just for you. So, Rob, how you doing, my man? Does the barbecue is still eating up, or still like trying to find some folks to eat barbecue with you, man? It won't take long. Like I'm just trying to look. I just forgot completely like to bring out the reference. So and like you see, in the corner, that's the guy I'm going for. But still, I got like that huge reference page, which I kind of draw my inspiration from. So, but I'm gonna show you in a minute. I'm like opening it. So I'm just taking a quick look of what I already built, and just for the sake of speed I will hide some of the parts. But I don't know about you guys, but you know, let me know if there's like a favorite part that you would like me like to work on. But oh, come on. But yeah, I could work on that. But right now I almost feel like I want to work on that. I get the feeling because right now, you know, we can barely see it, but right now the greaves seem to be like quite intricate, and I know that I think one of them got like a some kind of a bird face on it or something, a howl or you know. So I think I'm gonna work on that for tonight. But I still only got like 1 hour left, so I'll try to make the best out of it. So while my reference page is slowly, like really slowly loading. Okay, I think I'm gonna. So right now I'm kind of lacking a lot of polys. So I'm gonna do a, you know, I could go sculptress for sure, but right now I've talked so much that I kind of lost a little bit too much of time. So, and it's already super slow. I don't know if it's because I got like my other scene open in the background, but so what I'm doing right now is just like I'm masking where I want to add some polys. I'll just do that, and then I'll just do Control D, which is divide, and maybe another shot. Oh yeah, but wait, I'll just undo that like a few times. Reveal the complete body. Hide. Oops. Just gonna isolate this. Okay, I think I got everything. So yeah, so Control D and Control D twice. So yeah, that starts to be pretty dense. So that should be good enough to start with. So and I won't like work in symmetry because it seems like both sides are not exactly the same. I'd like to confirm that, but yeah, I just wait. I'm just like trying to load the reference, but for some reason it doesn't seem to want to. Yeah, sorry about that. For some reason I'm trying like to load up the. Oh, here you go. So, okay, I'm going for this guy. So yeah, I think that piece is like quite cool, and I see it like from a couple of angles, and there's even like stuff sticking out from the back. So, oh, and even that bit too. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna start like with this one, and then if I got time, then I'll work on the man. It's so cool. So okay, so and that's the thing. Like I'm gonna try to do it, but at the same time I might like a little bit like hands it. So and once again, the main idea is just like to have fun. I'm not really stressing myself of perfectly nailing everything. It's, I really see it as a iterative kind of process. So By the way, feel free to share from where you're watching this. Like always, I always enjoy. I think that's one of the coolest part, like to do those streams actually, to know where you're looking. You're watching this from which country. So, and by the way, like, tell me from which country you're watching this, and just add if you're sculpting something. Wait, okay. One of the things that I do for reference is usually I like in my ref page, like I've picked like, there's like different version, but I've picked this guy. So I start with this one, but then before I finish it, then I'll jump like to, let's say like this one, and then I'll try like to bring out the stuff that I see in there, and then I'll move like to, you know this one, and then that's how I kind of grasp like the overall look of that, because I got it like from different angles. But yeah, I'll kind of find my way, and with my eye I'll try to make sense out of all of, with all of those shapes. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired, and it seems my English is like starting to be really broken. Another thing that I like to tell myself is like, I don't need to nail both sides perfectly. I just need like to nail one side decent enough, and then after that, once I'm done, I will just like duplicate it on the other side and then make it fit. But I get the chance to first like sculpt from two different perspectives. I mean, like this side and then this side, and at the same time, since I'm like doing it like twice from two different angles, I'm having the chance to have like version 1 and version 2. So afterwards, when I split up my parts, I can pick whatever side looks the best. So if it doesn't make like any sense right now what I'm saying, don't worry, you'll see soon enough what, well, I don't know if it's going to be tonight, but like in by the time we finish this, you'll understand where I'm going with this. Hey, hola. How you doing? Glad that you could make it. It's a party without music, but it's still a party. Oh man, I'd like to keep up with you, but yeah, I casi. Oh, I know what a una fiesta is though. Yes, big fiesta, man. Without music. So, how you've been? I don't think we ever met, but that's awesome. I'm still having like a lot of fun. I hope you guys are having like a little bit too. I'm not like the only one, but yeah, feel free to take that time to sculpt at the same time as me. I mean, that's one of the things that I think sucks the most. When we're doing like those live streams. I know that there's like a Discord, but the fact that there's only me speaking, and to be honest with you, I would kind of like like be able like to interact, just like if we're all sitting in the same room and we're all doing our thing, and and it's just because let's face it, the stream is just like an excuse for me to sculpt and enjoy it with you guys. But yeah, I'd love like to see what you guys got to say, or what you guys are sculpting, and see basically what you're doing at the same time as I'm doing mine. So who knows? One day maybe technology will reach that point. Once again, it's not a race. It's about having fun. So take the time that you will. Like you saw, like I've tried like to go really fast to do like that kind of basic structure. But once that is done, then you can slow down and then start refining stuff. But you know, trying to still like to play like the secondary shape, but to really have something interesting. And I think that part is like the most important about turning around your stuff like often, because you really, just to be sure you really nail like the volumes and have like something interesting to look at from all the angles. And right now, like I'm kind of getting a little bit away from the concept, but it's because I want to give it shape and understand what the 2D concept means. But I mean like what the artists were like trying to show or make you understand in the form. But still, I still feel it's a 2D concept, and sometimes might not be like exactly would make sense, or maybe I could leverage like some of the forms out of it that are not like explicitly shown. That's the cool thing with 3D. Like you can literally like define like better the 3D spatial space. Yeah, you bet, huh? Where's the Spanish translation? Man, I can translate you like everything in French though. If you wanna, if you wanna do like some French learning, I'm all there, man. It's gonna be like a sculpting bilingual. I'll do like that. I wish my Mexican friend Pablo from work would be with me right now. He could definitely pick that up. That dude is just like he's speaking French, English, and Spanish, which is I think it's impressive. What are you working on, Prashan? You said I wish I could share it too, but I'd love like to know what you would show. That's one of the thing. Like sometimes I'm almost wishing that since because this like in a way is like first off like I'm trying like to do the stuff I wouldn't do at work, something I will probably like, never be able like, to do professionally. So it's really more like out of passion than anything. So it feels like that kind of void, but at the same time, it's clearly like practice, just like working out. Even if I still like work in that field, I'm not like doing ZBrush every day. So in the video game industry, so I think like doing this, and since it's like for 3D print, it's not one for one exactly the same constraint. It's like kind of a different vibe, but yeah, it's still practice. And the thing that I maybe like at some point would be cool to do would be like a, if we got like a, but I think it would need like more time. But if we go like for a specific, subject or kind of reference, and then we just part ways, like we all kind of, I guess like we just all do it together or something like during the stream, and then in the end we just like look at our stuff and then see what kind of a study we came up with. I think it's like a, because once again like that main the main purpose of the stream is like to practice as well. So I think I'm sure like some of you would love like to do practice too, and some guys, like even me like right now, but before when I was in Montreal I had like a lot of sculptors around, but now that I moved to Quebec City, I'm like a lot more isolated from that kind of community. So, and I know that there's a lot of guys like you that are like just kind of a in a remote place where nobody understands what they're actually making, and they're kind of wondering why are they like spending so much time doing that thing. But yeah, I think it could be like a great excuse to get together. And yeah, if we can all grow from it and gain something out of it, I think that's awesome. That's the thing that is so cool about the whole streaming and social networks. It's never been like so easy to just share and feel so close, basically. Even if like distance-wise, we're like at the other end of the earth. Ah, nice. A dog walking a baby. I love that. I think something that it's that's another thing. Like it's one thing to have like a well executed or like detailed sculpture. I think sometimes just having like a clever idea just makes it like awesome as well. It's not like always about execution or the level of detail. Sometimes it's about design or just an idea, which I think it's something that it's cool too. Okay, I'm gonna try to do that kind of weird piece. Just gonna break this to the level. Right now his farm is like kind of weird, like a big sausage. So I'm just gonna try to change that a little bit. That's one thing, like you could, and clearly like that's something at some point I really want to do, but you could literally have like a super muscular kind of well defined forms of the end, and then you sculpt on top of it. Right now, like since this character is like mostly covered with like pieces of armor and stuff like that, I'd rather not like spend too much time working on the anatomy of the underarm. I think the parts that I'm gonna be working out the more the anatomy are really the clothing part, because since it's like a soft surfaces, it makes like a whole lot more sense that the clothing kind of embrace the human forms. So, but like for the hard surface stuff like this, it's I could, but it's like I feel like I would be like wasting time. But at the same time, since I mentioned it was a practice, then I would clearly like practice a forearm. But in this case, that might not be what I want to go for. And even my refs, I kind of build up like my ref, not really for that. So, but yeah, if it's something that you guys are into, we could definitely look into that later. If I can tell, caricaturizado. Yes, Cody, it's Talon from the Batman series. I think like the design of those guys are so cool. And to be honest with you, I think like the first New 52 comic from Greg Capullo and Snyder with the Talon, or like I think that's one of my really top favorite comic. I think the way the whole overall how it's made and presented and all that, I think it's well, I think I would say like volume one and volume two. I think the whole Court of Owls, the way to presented them, I think it's really really cool. But I heard that, but it's just a rumor. But I kind of saw that they might do a Court of All game in Warner Montreal. But yeah, I saw that like over the some kind of Batman news site. But yeah, I would be really stoked to see those guys play with those guys in a video game. I don't know if you realize this, but I'm like, you know, everything is so kind of uh, how can I, broad, like kind of really broad detail, and it's not like super well defined. And that kind of approach, like for me, it's like definitely on purpose, because see, like even like in those strokes, you see like those tiny kind of lines. Well, the more you go closer, the more it kind of becomes like really insane. But it's in a way like I'm trying to create happy accident and try to see something that might not be there just by doing like a lot of strokes like that. Sometimes like the part that is like in the concept is not like that appealing, but just by doing strokes like that, I will maybe find something interesting. And once again, it becomes like a process of not just copying a reference, but really trying to push the design from the characters and trying like to even like bring it further. It's it's perfectly fine if you want to go for the character, but yeah, I feel like that's a great way to sorry about that. A great way like to push your skill, like your design skills, because I always feel like one of the hardest thing like in sculpting is like trying to design while you're oh sorry about that. Damn. I'm falling apart. But yeah, like designing while you sculpt, it's always been something that's kind of really hard. Like it's so much easier to look at a concept and go ahead. But by doing this like one for one, you kind of lose the whole um, spatial space understanding of how to build forms that will really stand out in the 3D kind of form. Because there's like really amazing 2D guys, but sometimes it's even for them it's actually hard to really understand that form from all the other angle. But for us, it's just like a brush stroke to move the piece around and really understand how it's made. So sometimes for us, it's easier to design some of the parts. It might take longer, but I think overall it pays off. Sometimes even in a concept, it's right now I'm looking at it and I'm kind of overwhelmed with detail. Like I just look at the concept and I'm almost like losing myself into it. Like I got like a hard time understanding everything how it's playing out and like distance, and I'm just like wow, like I think I'm gonna show you the kind of reference just for so you can understand. Like I'm looking at this and then I'm just like okay, I'm doing like that circle thing right over here, and then okay, there's like this small bracket right there, but then when I do this, it's just like how this fits compared to the face, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm kind of losing myself a little bit in there. But that's why I start like doing strokes like that. Like once again, it's like the broad strokes, but at least if I bring back my concept, wait, man, that is so annoying. I don't know why I keep losing my concept. It's just like if I lock it or something. Okay, so if I go back to where I was, um, yeah, like now that I've like put my line down, even if it's really messy, and then I got like this edge, which is like the edge of, then I can understand more like the volume. Like see, like right now we see like that kind of black hole, and that black hole like over here is a lot more larger. So from there I can just like start, refining a little bit more, and then close that gap to be like something closer to the concept. Because in the end, that's one of the most important part. You don't want to lose the kind of the spirit of the concept. There's clearly something cool um, coming out from that concept, and you don't want to go like super overboard. I know it's like I'm saying that, and it's not like something that is like easy just to go in and then sort that out. But it's 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 I think over time, like if you keep that in mind, it becomes easier and easier, and something that becomes more and more natural. So that's why like I'm kind of pushing it, but it's more volume wise. I don't want to like over design it as well. I wanted like to keep really the coolness factor from the character. So once again, my reference just every time it just dies. So I'm just gonna. So I just want to get back to the chat quickly. Um, oh yeah, we are Robin. Yeah, yeah, that's one. Actually, that's one of my. Cody says he's enjoying like the heck out of a We Are Robin comic, and that's one of the comic that is on my list to read. Which yeah, well the whole art and the concept looks pretty cool, but I don't really know what it's all about though, except of people seems to be standing up to be Robin. But yeah, I'll try to give it a go. Um, yeah, well, like Prashant, like you're talking about like doing anatomy and armor at the same time. It's like I don't always do that, and sometimes if I got like let's just say working on a game and there's already a body made, then I will just use it. But I'm I'm a firm believer. Like I kind of love like you know like being healthy, like working out, and you know even like those you know, like CrossFit things and all that. And one of the thing that I always like try to apply pretty much in everything is just like the, you know, the whole workout concept is basically, and the way I understood it, and the way I try like to apply it is like the thing that the body ate the most is like change, because like the body is always like trying to adapt to whatever. So if you do like an exercise for like a year, the same exact exercise, the body will kind of adapt. So you'll see like barely see like any result. So and basically it means as well as the body goes like into some kind of a comfort zone, and that's basically what I try to get away from, because comfort zone to me means lack of progress. So by just like trying to mix it up and then change your approach, it's no, it's in a way it's not fun, and sometimes it can be really hard because you're just like, man, I know how to do this. Like if I just do it standalone, but I think you gain something else. I think you get like a new perspective and even efficiency. So I think it's always good like to once in a while like try to really force yourself like a new approach, and I think you'll grow like a lot faster and better from that. So yeah. So I mean like even if I'm not like doing that usually all the time, like right now I'm doing it, and I think it's yeah, it's part of the whole idea. And then I think it's a great way as well to understand how anatomy and piece of armor play out with each other, because right off the bat you'll know, you know, when you're actually working on the farm piece, if it makes sense with the rest of the anatomy. If it doesn't make sense, then you know you'll probably need like to shift things around. But yeah, it's so one of the things that I always like is like to have like some kind of a center in the pieces. So, and since you know those plates usually are like round, it gives me like an excuse to pop up some of the detail. So because right now it's like I want I want silhouette breakup when you look at the negative space right here. So basically I want like those shapes to play out with each other. So you get like some stuff sticking out and then going in, going out, and all that. So you get something interesting from that angle. And then you know if you go from this angle, then it's gonna be the same thing. I'll try like to play out with those shapes, and you don't need like to go. That's the thing. Like right now, we feel like you see like that big shape of the farm. You don't need like to go overboard and then destroy that shape with having like a mask 5 times as big as this, you know, and really you can still have something quite small that fit into that space, but just break it up just a little bit, almost like with that thing on the side, you know. It's still, you know, you can still see that kind of farm um, triangle, if you will, and yeah, and that's how I try like to see my stuff. Like I spin it around, so that's why I like the 3D space. It's great for that. And then after that, when you're gonna be doing the retopo, well, the art surface element, you'll be able like to move them and then match directly the sketch. And that's the cool part about doing like the art surface part as a whole right now. It's I can move them around and really give them volume or like play out with the see, like I think we got something cool in here. Like we got like that bump, and then you got like that line that goes in and then goes out. And that's another thing like I know I'm like talking about like a lot of subject at the same time, so I hope like I'm not like losing you. But I always like to get like those kind of beauty lines, usually like soft lines like that. They will it's almost like those composition lines when you look at a picture that draw your eyes to make it to go around. And I think like for the eyes, like it's always interesting. Well, I guess it depends on the intent, but I kind of like having like a line that guides your eye through the detail and through the shapes. And I think having like something smooth that got like continuity like that, it just makes it like more appealing, more refined, or elegant, elegant. Man, I'm like creating new words every day. So So yeah, let me get back at the comments. I wish Pixologic had a service like Adobe Cloud. Pay a monthly fee for use the software. Yeah, $10 a month. Yeah, you bet. Seriously, like it's yeah, I would love to see that too. But at the same time, you know, like I guess it's like the whole way to do like business. The fact that they never charge for upgrades and stuff like that. So I mean, they're right off the bat like that old software is like pretty much like there's nothing like it. It really stands on its own. So I think even the business model stands on its own as well. So yeah, it's kind of sad, but who knows? Maybe someday like something will happen. I don't know nothing about it. How long the in-game character often takes stars to finish? Well, right now, I think like for stuff like outfits that we're doing for Assassin's Creed, it's around 5 to 6 weeks, and that's without the whole the air stuff like that. It's really more like just the outfit, or or this would count as an outfit because I got like a mask on top of it and like the ends are covered and all of that. So yeah, if I would do like this, it would be. But once again, it might not be like the most complex thing, but yeah, it would be like between. But yeah, depending. Sometimes we get 4 weeks, but always depends on the deadlines and the priority and basically the level of quality they're expecting from the model. But I would say most of the time it's around 5 to 6 weeks. Um, between Maya and Blender, which do you think is better? To be honest with you, I I I I'm, I think Blender seems to be pretty cool, but I don't know enough of Blender to actually tell. Maya, I basically learned 3D on it, and then I moved to Softimage for like many years, and then I ended up on Max because of the studio needs. And to be honest with you, I still feel Softimage is my favorite one of them all. So I was like so sad that they abandoned that software. But I think yeah, I think Vitaly Bulgarov is still using it like super efficiently, but or like to this day. But yeah, I'm tempted to say Maya for games, but at the same time, I don't know like Blender enough to tell. But to be honest with you, it's just a tool. Pretty sure most of the stuff you do in Maya, you could do them in Blender. It's really a question of ease of use. It's almost like cars. They all got four wheels and a steering wheel. So after that, which car you would rather pick over another one. It's a question of taste, I guess, and safety and all of the reason that like are important to you. So, but I think the best way to go about software is just try them out, man. I think it's good like to be efficient in at least one. So after that, you can more easily understand the other. If you're looking for a specific thing or a specific tool or anything like that, it's easier to see value in other softwares if they can do it like properly and compare. But yeah, I think just to answer your question, I think I would go Maya just because I know it more and I know it's a quite a full package. And there's like many studios. I don't know. That's another thing. Like I don't know. I'm not saying there's not none, but I don't know any studio that use Blender as as a a studio package. Most of them they'll use Maya or Max. So that's another thing. Like if it's like to get a job in the industry or anything like that, I think it would pay off more to go Maya. And but Blender, I know like a few concept artists that use it since it's free. Like they kind of use it to help themselves with some of the perspective stuff. Okay. Oh yeah, my mic is pretty quiet. Wait, I'm gonna try to change that. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, maybe it's. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I think for right now it might be like because it's too far away from my mouth. Yeah, I think it's better now. Yeah, because now I see like the audio line are like more in the yellow. So thanks for the comment, Dan. Um, Not sure what you mean, like Cody, when you say like, how do one get those mesh details in a sculpt? Which I'm not sure what you mean, but I mean, you mean this? How I do refine that? Just gonna slowly stick out the fins. Even right now, like I'm looking in the reference and I got like a hard time understanding how they plug that in, but we'll figure it out like soon enough. So I'm gonna do an extract. Where's my extract? Man, it's been like a few weeks that I wasn't like in. Oh, it was right there. I wasn't like in ZBrush, and now I almost feel lost in my controls. That's another thing. Like if you want to go for speed and try to increase your speed efficiency, I would definitely recommend doing like custom assets. But custom. Did I say custom assets? I mean like custom menus. We'll go for that. I don't really mind. So super beautiful, eh? So for this, I'll go Dynamesh. Yeah. And then I'll do a little bit of retopo with ZBrush. Wait. I'm gonna click your ArtStation link, and while it's loading, I'll just continue the. Right now, I'm just gonna do close alls. That's one of the key thing as well. Since I'm still like in subdivision 1, I can still play around quite a bit with the shape. That's cool. I'm seeing like the Superman and Robin, and you want to know how to do details like that, like micro details. Yeah, it's usually I like to use the. I'm just gonna refine this a little bit more. If you want to go like, with like fabric detail and stuff like that, it's, you know, it's way further down the line from where I'm at right now, but still I can show it with this piece, which if it wanna load, come on. Whoops. So I just want to have something clean, and so let's just say that's what we're going for. I'm just going to do an H polish on this. So just for the sake of the UVs, I'm just gonna try to zero mesh it even more. Yeah, something like that. And then I'll do polygroups. 25. Yeah, more or less. That should be alright. Then I'm gonna do quickly UV on it. And then if you want to go like for fabric and all, like I'm gonna show it to everyone so you guys can see, like if you want to go with all of those micro detail, it's all of those are like pretty much done procedural or by alpha map, alpha texture. So if I want to do like, and right now I just want to be sure I got like a decent UV. You need like a UV map, so that's how I do it. And right now, like it's, you know, it's not optimal because my mesh is kind of messy. But basically, what I try to do is like to assign a polygroups per UV island. And once I'm gonna be morphing, I mean like doing the unwrap, which I'll try to keep symmetry on. So it says like when active, ZBrush tries to make UV islands symmetricals, and I'll do like a polygroup, which I did not do, but you know, because this will split UV island by polygroups. So if I just zero mesh it and then morph it back again, see, now it's all splitted into. So sometimes you'll get like better result from where I'm going with this. So what I'll do is just like I'll subdivide that a few times, because it's kind of a, when you're like at that level, it's really like the finishing kind of level, and usually that's when your scene starts to be really heavy and like hard and long, like to open up. So I got like a short key, which is for just so that you can follow through. I'll go into surface and noise, and basically I'll go up here. And basically what I usually do is like I'll go back in UV and we'll kill the noise, which is, wait, oh no, wait, I'm gonna just trigger this first, because right now I got like no, you could always load an alpha map if you got one, but well, right now we'll just go for weave. Here we go. And then there's always like mixed basic noise, so I remove that. And then you got like a relative, but you know, you'll see, you may keep it or remove it, but plugin scale. And so what I'm trying to do right now is just like I'm just trying like to see it, see the pattern, and then see like I can amplify it, and then can play around with the scale. So and the trick is like with this, and even if it goes messy, it's all right. It's even if the display is kind of weird, so I'll do okay. So you see, like right now I got like my pattern. It could be like a lot tighter than that depending on what you want to do, but I want to be sure like you guys are seeing it. But still, let's go for something maybe like they did. And that's the other thing. And right now, since my UV was like kind of shitty. Like we got like the all that weave like on the UV part are like quite not so pretty. But at least you'll know, the better your UV are, the better it will be. But to start with the shape that I'm doing this on is like it's pretty bad. So, but still, you'll get the point. So I'm going for this. Okay, and like I said, one of the things that I'll do on purpose is like, let's just say I'm happy with this, then I will just like increase it a whole lot more, and then it's super intense. But the reason why I'm doing this is just because I'm creating like a layer. I'll call it surface noise. And then you'll need like to go to the surface and then do apply to mesh. Sometimes the result that you will see on the mesh, well, what you see there and when you do apply won't be the same one. Let's just see, like right now, you're just like, what the hell happened? It's just my beautiful thing. It's just neat because it needs more subdivisions. And yeah, of course, like you'll need like to kill the layer first and then subdivide it. So if we go for 7, then I'm gonna rename it again, and then we'll try apply to mesh. Oh, and the reason why I put it on the layer is simply because you can just okay, I need like to release a layer first, but you can decide how much you still get control on the intensity applied to the mesh, and that's one neat trick. Another thing that I forgot like to show before we do the apply was right now I'm just like before we did the apply. I'll usually go into morph target. No, sorry. I need like to go to morph target, which is right there. Store morph. And when you store morph, be sure you're at the right subdivision level, which is like the highest, because right now we're gonna stamp this like this surface noise on the highest. So yeah, I'm like level 7. I got my noise on, I got my morph target, and I got my layer on. So all my things are set. If you want, you could even like write it down just to be sure like you're all following those steps. Apply it to mesh. Okay, so I got like my amplitude, which I'm gonna lower it a little bit. And then let's just say I got like in my piece I got like a letter strap like right in the center right there. So I don't want like to have this pattern, but I could always like go in and try like to smooth it out. But still, there's good chances that you might wreck the surface and not like something like that, which is not that pretty. But one of the things that you can do is just like, since we did like a morph target, you could switch it back. That's what we had before and what we got with the thing. So you're just like, maybe you're wondering, hey Sebastian, where the hell are you going with this? Well, where I'm going with this is basically I use what they call the morph brush, which will recall the original morph target. So if you wanna freestyle it and then just write a nice hello, which I'm just gonna write hell instead. It will be quicker and nicer. So yeah, basically that's why like I kind of like that. And the thing is with this right now I'm at 25 and like barely swiping the surface, and I see like I'm barely affecting what's happening. It's not like super intense. So once again, maybe like if you got some fabric and you wanted like the fabric to fade a little bit in some of the region, you could do that too. So yeah, so basically that's how Eduardo Silva, man, I almost couldn't say his name proper, but yeah, that's how basically he applies his things. And after that, if you need like stitches and stuff like that, then you'll need like to go for a brush. And but I think like they even got insert mesh stitches brushes. Yeah, but once again, it's like finding stitches. I think should be like fairly simple. It's maybe it will be like for another class because or another stream, because right now we're wrapping up everything. So once again, thanks for being here. I think it was awesome. You guys had like a lot of cool comments and all. And outside of that, of course, like if you want to reach me out or follow my things and all, like for the next stream and stuff like that, you can always like look at the bottom for the links to actually follow me and be part of that amazing bunch of cool people. So yeah, so thank you all, and yeah, like next Monday will be probably like the last stream of 2018. So yeah, I think it will be like quite fun, and yeah, I hope like to make like something cool. But in the meantime, if you got like any things that you'd like me like to show or talk about for that last stream, uh, feel free to reach out and say so. I mean, I love to sculpt, but I love to help you out as well, and or like kill the myths or the stuff that are like unclear for some of you. So yeah, that's it. I'm dragging this thing on, but thanks a lot, everyone. I was, yeah, super happy to see you all. And if I don't see you, for the holidays and all that, have a great holiday for sure. And yeah, for sure I will be back like in January as well. So, but it might go like more like mid-January or end of January. I don't know exactly yet. But yeah, keep it up, guys. Don't lose the passion. Sculpt like crazy, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Thank you, everyone.